Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be slightly different than the videos you might have seen before because it's going to be a collaboration video with Hanne Arts. You probably all know her channel. If you don't, please go and check her out. I will link her video down below. And I'm really excited because it's going to be a mukbang Q&A style. So we're both going to answer the same questions that we received concerning stress, how to deal with stress, all that kind of stuff. It's not ED related but also ED related, so both topics are in there. And the mukbang will be that I'm going to cook her favorite exam meal and she's going to cook my favorite exam meal. I will put the recipe in the description box below. And yeah, in case you don't know me, my name is Johanna. I've started this channel a few weeks ago to share my experiences in eating disorder recovery and to help you guys to get through this, to give you motivation, inspiration. But I always put focus on the fact that I'm not a professional, so please make sure that you have a therapist, have a dietitian, have a doctor, whatever you need. I'm only there to support you with additional stuff. And yeah, I'm doing content videos but also full days of eating. It really depends on what you want to see, and I'm always open to answer questions of any kind. I am still in recovery myself because obviously recovery is a long process, like it takes amazingly long. However, I've come extremely far over the last month, and yeah, I'm finally at the point where I can actually share my experience and try to help other people suffering from eating disorders. Yeah, I think that is all I wanted to say for now. Yeah, I just wanted to do a little introduction, and I will see you at the mukbang. Bye. Oh, and I forgot to say thank you so much for tuning in, for clicking on the video, for giving me a chance to talk to you guys. And yeah, I hope you like the video, and if you have any questions or comments, just comment down below. I'm really open and honest with everything, and I will just try to answer them as best as possible. Yeah. Hey guys, I just finished making the pasta and oh my god, it smells so good. Like, Hanne, thank you for this recipe. You see that? It's pasta. I use spaghetti with a sauce with kind of a bechamel one. She mentioned the name, but I forgot it, what it's called. And smoked salmon. I was very lucky because it was on sale in my supermarket. Spinach, tomatoes. I put some butter, olive oil, and yeah, lots of mozzarella cheese in the sauce and on top of the sauce. Yeah, and it smells really good. I will sit down now. So I have my laptop here and I actually put the questions just on the screen so I can just answer them. And I thought of structuring them, but then I had the idea to not structure them because I tend to over structure things and my whole life. So I thought it would be a nice idea to kind of go through it just unstructured and just answer them as best and as quick as possible. So yeah, let's get right into it, but first I will have some bites because I'm super hungry. The first question is, any tips for being asleep? We were not sure what this question really refers to, but we thought it refers to falling asleep in the evening when you're in exam phase. So basically, this is a very hard question for me to answer because I never struggle with that. I have a very good sleep, so I just fall asleep in the evening very fast. However, what I would try to do is put away your phone, maybe like half an hour before you go to sleep. Stop working before you go to sleep, so like maybe also half an hour to an hour beforehand. Just stop working, calm down. Have an evening ritual, so I always have a shower, have a book with me and I read a few pages. So that's like the evening ritual I have, and it really fastens my time I fall asleep. And try not to stress about it. So even if you don't fall asleep immediately, don't stress about it. This will only prolong it. And what can also help is taking deep breaths. So if I'm really excited about something, I just lay there and take like for 2 to 5 minutes, I take deep breaths, and it really calms you down, and sleeping is easier then. Also, take your time during the day to actually calm down, because if you kind of push through the day all the time and you don't have time to calm down, then in the evening automatically all your thoughts will kind of explode. So yeah, that is what I can say to that question. Yeah. The next question is a question to myself. It's what do you study and what exams do you have? So I study chemistry and I'm doing my bachelor degree this summer. So basically I have exams all over the chemistry subjects. So we have inorganic chemistry, organic chemistry, technical chemistry, physical chemistry, theoretical chemistry, like all this kind of stuff. And usually in my bachelor it was from 4 to 6 exams per semester. And yeah, that's all about me. How do you cope with exams if you have an eating disorder? So that is a really good one, and also a very tough one. So I believe that if you're in eating disorder recovery is the highest priority and should be highest priority. So if you just cannot cope with exams and your recovery at the same time, stop studying, stop doing school, focus on your recovery, because that is in the long run the most important thing for you right now. And just give yourself the time, because you don't even have to feel guilty for it, right? It's about mental health and about physical health, and health is so much more important than any achievements in school or university, like seriously. And however, so that is if you find it really hard. However, if you like going to school and to university and you're in a physical condition that is not really dangerous, like really dangerous, you know what I mean, I think doing exams or going to university or going to school is a good distraction from recovery and kind of a glimpse of normal life. So I always loved going to university, because at that time when I was at university or when I was studying, I just did not have to focus on my thoughts about eating and all that kind of stuff. So if you're able to do that and use it as a distraction, then I would recommend that one. Okay, next one. How do you manage sitting down for long hours to study if exercise addiction makes you feel guilty for doing so? The answer is quite easy, although I know it's not the answer you might want to hear. So basically, just do it. Addictions are really tricky, and they will always tell you that what you're doing is wrong. And yes, you will feel guilty, but over time, and the more often you're doing it, the less the pressure to exercise will become. And this is extremely hard, but it's definitely possible to disconnect eating and exercise. And the only way to do it is not exercising and eating. I know that is super hard, but that's the only answer I have to that question. What is your preferred method of revision? So I'm studying a science subject, so we usually have exercise sheets all through the semester, and we have exams from the previous years. So that is what I prefer most to do. I just revise the exercise sheets and I do exams from previous years to find my legs. And I also like to do mind maps if it's a bit more complicated. Yeah. Emma asks, how do you study effective? Studying is all that I do these days. I'm having a hard time not to do study. I feel guilty when I'm not studying. I'm a perfectionist, so studying also goes very slow for me. I also stress a lot while studying. It's hard for me to take some free time and enjoy the things I like to do when I still have some free time. Did you have this too, and how do you tackle this? So no, I was never a perfectionist when it comes to school and university stuff, but I was in a lot of other life-related issues, or I am still working on it. So basically what I can say is you have to learn to use the perfectionism for yourself and instead of against yourself. So perfectionism is a really good character trait. It can lead you to a lot of things. It can make you achieve a lot of things. However, if you overdo it, it harms yourself and your physical and mental health. But I guess you already know that, because otherwise you wouldn't ask that question. So I think what you have to do is set endpoints. So really set a goal for the day, and then after that stop studying and take some free time, because you can't continue life only studying. That is not what humans are made for. And also what I've always find helpful if I'm stuck in a certain thing, ask yourself if the time you're investing in this is really worth it, or if the outcome, or if it might be more worth if the outcome is not like tip top, but you had some free time. Because usually the answer is, yeah, it would be better to have some free time, because yeah, then the outcome is like maybe a little less tip top, but at least you enjoy time with your friend, you did some relaxation or whatever. It just, that's life. Life is not only about studying. And yeah, so maybe asking yourself that question might help. I hope so. Alice asks, I correctly have to study and to concentrate on recovery since I'm not at all on healthy weight. How can I combine learning and recovery without stress? And it's difficult to study for me because of my urge to move. So these are like two questions. The first one, so last January and February I was in exam phase and I was starting my recovery. And the way I managed it was I really set a plan for the day, when I wanted to study, when I wanted to eat, and yeah, I really structured my day. Like, I over-structured it, but it helped during this time. So I had breakfast, then I sat down for study, I made a break, had a snack, study, lunch, break, study, snack. So this kind of thing. So really try to structure your day, try to incorporate eating, try to incorporate relaxation and time where you really deal with your thoughts and with recovery topics. And the rest of the time, try to shift away from recovery, try to give your mind rest on this kind of issue, and try to focus on university stuff. And concerning the urge to move, if this question is not about exercise addiction, but about the urge to move. This is basically a biological phenomenon that results from the very, very, very low leptin level that you have in your body. Leptin is a hormone that comes from fat cells, or that is synthesized in fat cells, and because if you're underweight, you don't have a lot of fat cells, so you are in a deficit of leptin. So this results in this really bad urge to move. I know this is super hard. I struggled with this a lot when I was younger. Try not to respond to it. Maybe if you can't stand it, go for a walk, but definitely don't exercise. And try to find other methods to deal with it. And also just kind of push through it, because this is a very important thing. Once you gain weight, it will become less and less and less. So this is, for me, this was one of the biggest motivations, because I hated this urge to move. And once I gained weight, it became better and better. And once I reached my set point, it was not there anymore. So that was definitely a motivation. Next one. Suk asks, I have a question. How does stress affect your eating? Do you find that you eat more, less, cook less, eat more, processed food, etc.? Or maybe stress doesn't affect your eating? So stress certainly does affect my eating. So in exam phases, I tend to eat much more sugary and sweet stuff, and lots of chocolate, and yeah, so it definitely does. And also I try to keep away from foods that really bloat me, or foods that I don't digest well, because if I'm really bloated or I have stomach pains, I find it really hard to study effectively. And of course, due to my eating disorder, I struggled a lot with restricting when I had stress, but I'm working on that and I'm getting better and better in that one. So yeah, that's how stress affects my eating. And next question is, I find it really hard to concentrate on studying when extreme hunger hits. How should I deal with this? That's very easy. Stop studying and respond to extreme hunger. Responding to extreme hunger is so important in your recovery. Just stop and do it. And then afterwards, if you feel okay, continue studying, or make a little break and then continue studying. And do not restrict afterwards. That's super important, but I guess you know that. So I find it really hard to concentrate on studying. Oh no, I already had that one. How to deal with zoning out during class due to food-related thoughts. How to deal with it? Well, this is completely normal in recovery, especially in the beginning, and it gets better once you're getting on a better weight and once you're nourishing your body better. But still, then you will be distracted by those thoughts. The only thing you can do is try to kind of get yourself back and focus on the thing you really want to do. Maybe it helps to tell yourself, like, this is my life. I don't want to spend my life with an eating disorder. I want to spend my life, my energy, my thoughts with the life that really matters, like my life, not the eating disorder ones. So this might be helpful. And also a very simple thing is, if you feed your body enough and you're not hungry at all, also not mentally hungry because you gave your body enough food, then zoning out because of food-related thoughts will automatically become less, because your body is just less focused on food because it knows that it gets enough. And yeah, so these are the two main aspects, but this is something I struggle with a lot, and that really really it led to some lectures where I didn't get anything because I was just stuck in my mind and thinking about food. But it gets better, I promise. Like, it's really getting better. Do you find it hard to concentrate during exams with an eating disorder? No, actually not. I think the reason behind it is that I always used university and exams and all that kind of stuff as a kind of distraction for my recovery. And I must say that I actually loved exams and studying in the beginning of my recovery, because it was the only thing that, the only moment in which my mind was on rest from thinking about food and thinking about calories and thinking about weight gain and all this kind of stuff. So I really did not have problems to concentrate during exams, I must say. So, but if you do, it will probably become better, just as the zoning out or the urge to move. Like, everything becomes better in recovery. That is so good about it. Like, I don't know, recovery is really worth it. Sarah asks, do you eat more during final seasons and what types of food? Carbs? Yeah, I answered that one already, so yeah, definitely carbs, definitely sweet stuff, and just don't worry about it, just respond to your hunger because your brain needs sugar and it's working better if you have some sugar in yourself. I think we arrived at the last one. So Josine asks, how do you plan when you have so many pages? So what I like to do is, when I start studying for exams, I always make myself an overview, what subjects I have, what topics I need to study and all this kind of thing. And then I usually make a plan which day I will do what, but I never stick to that plan. But I think it's helpful to have a plan, and it's probably also helpful to stick to it, but I never do. You know, I always end up to learn a lot of things in a very short time, and I don't know, I kind of need that stress to really push these things in my mind, but obviously it's better to have a plan and just stick to it. And what I can also recommend is, if you start the day, just set a goal for that day, or maybe say, okay, I will do this subject and that subject, and in this subject I will do this and this, and in that topic I will do this and this, and then make ticks after it, and once you finished all that, stop and enjoy your free time. And set small goals. So I used to set goals that were never realistic, so I never reached what I planned for that day. But if you set smaller goals, you will be much more satisfied with yourself and you can just enjoy your free time, and yeah, that's really effective. Also use time effectively, so make breaks. No one can concentrate for like 10 hours, so you need breaks, you need food, and you need some fresh air or whatever. And also you probably have a time, you know, for yourself when you can study best. So for me, for example, it's always the morning, and usually sometimes it's evening, sometimes afternoon, it really depends. So I usually try to finish most of my studying in the morning, because I know I'm just most effective there. So I think knowing your brain and knowing when it works best is super important. And also keep away all distraction if you really want to study effectively. So try to put your phone away, put the laptop away, like at least try to. I usually not successful at that one, but I should be. Oh my god, that were all the questions. I already went through them. So yeah, I still have some pasta to finish because I talked so much. I hope that at least some of the answers can help you guys and that you kind of get to know me. I must say I'm not really content with what I'm not really content with the way I did this Q&A. I think I really need to work on answering questions more structured and more properly, but I mean, it's the first Q&A I'm doing, so I will get better, I hope. Yeah, so yeah, thank you for tuning in, for clicking on the video, thank you for watching it, and I hope that at least you like some parts of it, and I hope I will see you guys in one of my next videos. Just comment down below what you think about it, just ask further questions or comment on answers I gave, or just, you can also always give criticism, I'm very open to that one, and yeah, just have a wonderful day and I will see you in the next video, bye!